I recently met the Ugandan president, His Excellency Yoweri Kaguta Museveni, and I posted the images of the meeting and the interaction. I met him with the First Lady, Janet Kataha Museveni. I got a lot of fire. This video is where I'm telling you guys how the entire thing happened, why it was a big deal for me to meet the president. I know this is a very sensitive topic. In all the years that I've lived my entire life, I had never ever seen the president of our country. I had never seen him on a campaign. I had never seen him or is there passing. It has been a big deal and a big dream of mine. I can say as long as I remember, for me to meet the president and to one day want to have a conversation with him like, hey, Mr. President, hey, I'm Derrick, hey, this and this. And that dream happened to come true. We are in the president's convoy right now. It is my first time to be in the middle of this convoy. It's like 2-3 cars from now. Very fast. A convoy ya Muzeyi. Bro. I'm going to take you back where it all started, why I am here and why I'm doing this entire thing. So I know many of you have been on trips. You've been up country on your trips, on personal trips, on work trips. You've been up country somewhere, you've traveled somewhere in Uganda, and you must have seen kids, like you see kids going to school like in the morning, in the evening, like sometimes they don't have shoes. Like you see those village kids, we see them when we are on our trips. I am among those kids. I am among those kids that went to school barefoot. I am among those kids that went to school in deep village schools. I am among those kids that have totally been under the government sponsorship and government programs of UPE or Uganda Universal Primary Education, even my secondary, even my campus. So for me, if it wasn't for the government and the school system, however it is, I'm not like here to complain or to praise it or whatever, I'm just saying, if it wasn't for the school system that the government put in place, there wouldn't be a Derrick that is currently speaking to you right now in this video. I went through my entire primary education in the government school called Nakasongola Primary School, RC. Like, do you know those Catholic government St. Anthony schools? Like those really deep village schools. That was my school for my primary 1 to primary 7. Then in my senior 1, I think that's when my mom was like, hey, my child has been so much in government. Let me try to see if we can afford to take him in private schools. In only senior 1 to senior 2, I went in like 8 or 9 schools in just that short time. We could apply for a school and then a few weeks later we were like, okay, Chiganyi, let's get another school. We can't afford that. We get another school, hey, and then we get another school. So I kept on changing schools. We were trying to find a school which I could afford, which I could stay in, and honestly it failed. So I had to go back in government, that is in my senior 2, all the way up to senior 6. When I finished senior 6, it is still the government that educated me what I studied. So growing up, it was that entire dream of mine to honestly meet the president and to honestly just not meet him as a group, not to meet him like, hey, how are you guys? Like to meet him and be like, hey, President, my name is Derrick. Nice to meet you. How are you? You understand? So it was like that. Very long time dream. I shared with you guys about the school because I wanted to show you where it all comes from. I tried to meet the president last year on the Timeless Frames photo exhibition. You guys remember that time when we were pushing so much my exhibition, which was the first high-end exhibition in our country. And now I know many are going to come up because many photographers and many creatives saw the dream, and everyone right now is shooting for the star, which I'm very humbled and very proud. I tried to meet the president during that time and it failed. So this year I was working, and miraculously I was working with Ambassador Juju. So we were driving, I think, to Mbale, and we were talking. I don't remember what conversation we were having, and we're like, and I was like, I tried to meet the president last year, like jokingly. I tried to meet the president last year. I wanted to give him the photo, this and this, but it failed. I kept on pushing, and then I was like, okay, I let it go. So I bring this in a conversation. She's like, you wanted to meet the president? Like, okay, I'll see what I can do. Onakurumu, mbandi yao. She calls me, she's like, Derrick, come for the COVID test. The next thing I was hearing, we are meeting the president tomorrow. I honestly, it was still that point where I could not believe it. I'm like, yeah, it happens. Like, like, you know that point where you're like, I don't think it will happen. To keep the, I didn't even know what I was going to tell the president, because for me it has been like a long-term thing for me to meet the president. So it is very hard to meet the president, I tell you. It is very hard to meet the president, and social media has made it look so easy, and social media is doing a disservice to all the young people, to all people here. Like, they can just tag him and abuse him. They can just tag him and be like, hey president, how are you? Like, social media makes you feel like you can easily get to anyone at any minute, but the day you will ever try to meet people in real life besides social media, that's when you know that people are very hard to meet. Now, when it gets to a president of a nation, it's times 10 harder than what you can think. So Ambassador Juju goes to see him with the other gentleman that were traveling with. I'm sure you've seen him in the photo. So they get to go and see him. Firstly, there was like a tent there where media guys were waiting. There were like a bunch of people waiting to see him. And then there was like a small hut where he was seated with the first lady. So I stayed somewhere in the tent alone with the guys who were serving me tea. They were like bringing the teas, taking care of me. Hey, how are you? Are you also meeting the president? Yes, I'm meeting the president, yeah. And they were like, when he talks in Luganda, you also talk in Luganda. Like, be free. It's like, nice and what? So they saw I'm scared. They're trying to calm me down. It was big up to them, yeah, if they get to watch this video. So my time comes, the SFC guys and the SFC guys picks me up. And as we are walking, like we are walking to the hut, like that place where you're walking to get to where he is and where the first lady were, the guy, the security guy is like, I confirm, is he approaching direct? I approach like in Swahili, like he was trying to ask other guys, is he going direct? Because there were many people who were passing who were there waiting for him. And then I think they told him is like coming direct. So I had my speech prepared, like I had my entire speech. Hello, His Excellency. My name is Derrick SSENYONYI. His Excellency, I've been shooting content for this country. His Excellency, I love my... Like, I had prepared my own lines of what I'm going to say, how I'm going to say it, from point A to Z, to the point of what I really wanted to say to him and give him the photo. The photo, it had been taken day in the night, so they checked it and they add it. You know, you don't just go and give him a photo just like that. So as we are walking to, my heart is shaking, my heart is pumping, but I'm like, yeah, come on, you know, come on, I'm Derrick. I've never gotten out of words. So, as we're approaching, I start to look like to peep in the art, like kind of hut, but you know, those modern huts. And it's him with his wife. They are seated there. And here comes in, like, that's the time where reality hit me and I was like, whoa, it's happening. Like, it's happening. I'm meeting the president of Uganda, and this is a guy I've seen on TV since I was a kid. I mean, he's the only president I know. So you can imagine what that holds in someone. And you can imagine, especially someone who started as a street photographer, someone who has done different kinds of jobs. I'm going to tell you about what I spoke with him there. This is someone that is now meeting the president. You understand? I'm even like right now feeling it, like I'm feeling it now. I'm like, whoo, damn. So I come here and I'm like, oh, he's the one. So I put my ones like this, and I didn't know what to say. Like, I didn't know whether to be like, hello, His Excellency, or like, I didn't know how they greet presidents. Like, how do you guys greet presidents? So I'm like, hello, like I said, good morning, like I said, good morning, sir. And then I was like, oh, sorry, His Excellency. And then, as I'm trying to figure out even how to greet, he says, SSENYONYI, like, he calls my name. SSENYONYI, come and sit. Young man, come and sit. Like he said, SSENYONYI, young man, come and sit. And for me, I came thinking I'm going to be saying, hello, His Excellency, how are you, sir? No. They called me in to actually come and sit where they were. And it was like, you guys, you can see the pictures. And the moment I sat down, all the speeches, all the preparations, all the words that I wanted to say, they disappeared in my head. Because that was such a pivotal moment, especially since I've been fundraising. I mean, I am still fundraising for my equipment, don't get me wrong. Since I've been fundraising for my equipment like a month ago, since this was like that, it clicked. So I sit down and Yane Soka. Like, you know that point where someone leads the entire conversation. So him and the First Lady, they were asking me questions like, so tell us, so what is it about this picture? So tell us, where do you come from? So which village? So like, I got like, oh my God. I got bombarded with questions, and then I had to answer him. I had to answer the First Lady. I had to answer him. Like, remember, I came with my entire speech. Like, the way I organized everything when I was coming, it was supposed to give him an entire introduction, him to understand the entire storytelling and the entire content creation thing. And I reached there. So in the convention there, he was asking, I think, about my jobs, what I've been doing. And there's a factory in Nakasongola. I think you guys have seen that factory, which they make bullets from. It's called, I think, Choga Dynamics, something like that. Like, it's a big factory in Nakasongola. I was a porter on that factory when it was in construction. I think I must have been around 18 or 17 there. So I was a porter on the site of that factory. And I was fired like 2 weeks before he came. Before he came to open it up, the construction was done and they were like cutting the staff. So they had to like limit the numbers of the staff on site. But for me, I was like, back then that was like, I'm going to meet the president. The president's coming to open up this factory. And then I get fired like 2 weeks before the factory gets opened up. So I didn't get a chance to meet him, but I told him, I was like, I was a porter on that factory when you came to open, but I did not get a chance to see you. So that moment, honestly, as someone who has been traveling the country, as someone who has been and is still hustling around content creation, around storytelling, around growth, around showing young people that it's okay, man, to dream. It's okay, man, to have goals. It's okay to... I see always hear people saying that it's hard to come out of the ghetto, but the ghetto is in Kampala, man. It's hard to come from the village, like from... You see those kids down there in the village, like we be competing with people here in Kampala, or Namagunga, or Nabisunsa, on what? Like those kids down there are competing with you guys here in Kampala. So for me, as someone who is coming from that background, having an audience and having an interaction of him to just sit, even just to have a conversation with him, that was something that's really, really, really a big deal to me. During the conversation somewhere, he asked me, I was speaking Ugandan, so he was like, how did you meet this big person? He was meaning Ambassador Juju. And of course, I had to be like, hey, Ambassador they wanted to do something for the Chinese consulate, for our embassy, and they needed someone who can do it. And then they reached out to me, blah, blah. I stammered when they asked me the question. I was like, yes, His Excellency. Like, you guys know how I talk. I had no words in that moment to even reply to such a simple question. In that very moment, before even I could start my speech, everything was wrapped up. All right, guys, thank you. And then they were going for the podium tours. They were busy. This is not like you've met him in an office, so they were like busy, like the program was ta. They were meeting like hundreds of people in the western part of the country. So that I was cut short without even saying why I was there, without even like, but I was happy, of course. I was happy that I've taken this photo to him, that I've met him, that I know now the work is going to feature maybe in the State House, either in Nakasero or even in Entebbe. The point of this video, to make this video honestly, was not to tell you about that, but was to reply more on the clash and what happened after I posted the photos. You people who watch us on social media have a perception of who we are, have a perception of who you think we are, and sometimes your perceptions lead to limit other people in thriving, in creating, in putting themselves out there, in dreaming, in chasing their goals, in chasing because of your perceptions and how you speak to us, or how you comment on videos, how you react, or how you receive the content. Sometimes you get that perception of, I know him or I know her, and I understand that. Some of the comments that I got honestly were shocking. I was like, wow, is this real? Like, someone can't even celebrate meeting a president because of the entire political sphere that is currently in the country. Some of you have seen the president and it has become easy for you, so you think it is easy for everyone. Some of you have got a lot, like, let me say, you have a lot of, can I say what? A lot of connections, a lot of money, a lot of whatever it is that you have. So you think people shouldn't actually celebrate their small wins. I am that kind of person who has even celebrated buying an iPhone for the first time. I am that kind of person who even celebrated getting on a flight for the first time. I am that kind of person who even celebrated going to school after being chased back home. I am that kind of person who celebrates whatever small thing that happens in my life. I am that kind of person who celebrates hosting timeless frames at Kampala Serena Hotel. Where I come from, we don't do those things. I am not tied to my past. I am not like gripped or to my past. But I know there are many, many, many Ugandans that see me as an inspiration, that have their dreams, that have their goals, that have things they want to achieve. There are many, many, many young Derricks there in the village that I know watch those photos. You guys don't know. You guys don't know. For us, we even had prayers at our home for just the son who met the president. We had prayers after like 2 or 3 where they were like praying, like my sisters even came. They were like, we have to pray for you. By force, you want it, you don't want. So it's a big deal. I'm sharing all this to show you that stop what you're doing, man. Stop forcing people your narratives. It's okay to have a personal narrative, like for you to support whatever you support, to believe in whatever you believe in. It's okay. You understand? It's totally fine. So you should get that grace of letting other people live their life. So I want to get that grace of being able to fully share this, and I'm sharing this with the most kind heart. I don't need you guys to feel sympathy that, hey, don't mind the negative comment. No, I'm not minding them. I'm minding the people that are just starting in their life, people that are just starting to understand dreams, people that are just starting to understand goals. I am able to shoot and document this country because I can travel from point A to point B safely. That is the reality. Because I can do that. But there are other places in this world where you can't do that. And President Museveni, for me, is the first leader that I am meeting. I actually think I'm just getting started. I actually feel I've not yet fully expressed and put out myself to my fullest capacity and my fullest potential. So there are many people that I represent. There are many people in my own district. I always do retreats to my former schools. Some things I don't even get to share with you. So, beautiful people that watch content, that watch content creators, that watch photographers, that watch us on the imagery and the visuals that we share, let us grow and accept us to grow. Growth sometimes comes in a way that you may not want, but as long as it is growth for me, it is not something that I have to come here and explain to you that, guys, this is growth for me. No. I want you guys to let young people that are coming up, that are growing, because we have, I think, one of the youngest population in Africa, or even in the entire world. Let them grow, man. Give them that grace of coming up, of having role models, of having dreams, of having inspiration, and of like, be the people you would have wanted to watch when you're growing. That's what I am doing. I love sharing my story. I love sharing the Ugandan story because I didn't get a chance to see people like me when I was growing up. So I want to be that person. I hope we are on the same page. I'm not here to defend. I'm not here to, I'm here to tell you that for me it was a big deal, and it is still a big deal. And I'm going to print the huge photo. Like, I'm going to print a huge photo and put it either here or in my sitting room, that I can be reminded that, oh, let me show you guys. Come here, just a second. Let me show you guys here. Some of you think you know us. This is me, man. This is me on a bike. I was still a photographer, like those starting photographers. This is how I used to travel around the country. I could just get myself on motorbikes, on buses, on what, to go and take images, to go and tell stories and what. So you can't tell me this guy is not supposed to be proud of meeting the president of the country. You understand? You can't tell me that. You can't tell me that. And I can't believe you also. So, my people, I'm extremely happy. I am extremely grateful to you that watch my content, to you that watch my videos, to you that watch my stories. I did not tell the president why I met him, but I'm very sure I will get that chance. To content creators, I think you guys are on the right track. To storytellers, you're on the right track. Keep telling those stories. To photographers, you guys are on the right track. I get so much joy seeing many of them doing what I do, because when I started, there was like 2 or 3 that were doing that. Right now we have a tourism photographers, tourism content creators, tourism groups, which I love, and it gives me so much joy. So we need many, we need to inspire many. You should be firm, you should be firm to express yourself. Don't let the minds of Ugandans, don't let the minds of people that are watching you deter you from why you are doing what you are doing, from the person who you started, from the person you wanted to become. And to negative comments, there is no comment. I have always said this, there is no comment in my life that is equivalent to my dream life. There is no comment. There is no comment that is equivalent to where I want to take my kids. There is no comment that is equivalent to where I come from, because I've seen it all. Like, tolina kivumo kyoyinza kunvuma nga kyenkanankana n'obulamu bwange bwempiseemu, nga kyenkanankana n'ebirooto byange, nga kyenkanankana n'abantu be neegomba, nga kyenkanankana wenjagala okutuuka, nga kyenkanankana abantu abandabanga inspiration nga role model mu bulamu bwabwe. Toyina comment gy'oyinza kuŋŋamba muga Katonda muggulu n'ennuma. Rather, mba mpulira, I get that grace that I hope whatever that's happening in your life is solved, whatever that is making you hard, or whatever that is making you negative, whatever that is making you type an abusive comment to someone, gets healed and gets solved. And yeah, I had to share that with you guys. I'm extremely grateful to you all. I'm extremely grateful to the Lord, because it's been God all this journey. They stole my entire equipment. We did the entire timeless frames. We are redoing the entire timeless frames. I'm going to rebuy my entire equipment. And to answer the question that did he buy your equipment? No, he didn't, because I did not actually even speak about it. I was there for something different, even though I didn't also get a chance to talk about the reason why I was there. I'm grateful to Ambassador Juju. We need many of you. Like, I feel like we need many of you, people that deeply love their country, that just want to share their story, that just want to support young people, that just want to support dreams and to show people that it's okay, man, to dream, man. We need to have, these Americans keep saying they have the American dream. We need to have the Ugandan dream that is beyond politics, that is beyond your problems, that is genuine. We are 47 million Ugandans. You need to remind yourself of that every day. We are 47 million Ugandans. We are not only 5 million social media users. We are many. We have those that are in school. We have those that are just starting out in their life. We have those that have already found what they love. We have those like us that are just trying to even get in the city. For me, my first time to come to Kampala, I remember that time. I think my mom told me, there's a building, Mapera House. That building is tall. That's how you can, if you get lost, get somewhere, see that. Honestly, no joke, she said that. She said that. So, I'm extremely happy and grateful that I've got a chance to travel my country and to share it with you all. And my dream is to see that we get many of me that can actually do even better than what I do in Uganda, in Rwanda, in Kenya, in the entire African continent. For me, I'm not stopping here. If I know some of you want so much to put me like this is where it stops. No, for me, it doesn't stop here. It does not stop in Uganda. We are just getting started. So you can't try to turn me upside down, or to make me feel bad, or to make me regret, or to make shame upon you. How dare you? just because I've made a president. That's president one. That's the truth. That's president one. We are still meeting many. We are in the president's convoy right now. It is my first time to be in the middle of this convoy. It's like 2-3 cars from now.
Very fast.
A convoy ya muzeyi. Bro. Buliyo nje abakukubo.